Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to your first lesson in Unit 5 and your first lesson in your new math book. If you don't have your new math book yet, just kind of follow along as best you can by using just plain paper and pencil. So our first lesson is on division, and we're going to learn to divide whole numbers by one digit. So our target is I can divide multi-digit numbers by single-digit divisors. And just so you have a better idea, so this is really what we're doing. Numbers like 136, this is a symbol for divide by 6. Okay, so one number out there. All right, so before we get started, I would like for you to have the following things ready, and pause the video if you need to go get them. Your math textbook, open to page 209, a pencil, scratch paper, lots of scratch paper, a multiplication chart, even if you know your facts, it might be kind of handy, and then a post-it note if you have one. If you don't have one, that's okay. All right, so I just would like to review a little bit with you, looking at these math facts. Okay, so our last unit, Unit 4, was on multiplication, and we did things like 5 times 37. The answer would be 185. And I think that you know that you can flip the order around of the 5 and the 37. The commutative property of multiplication says that you can flip it around to 37 times 5, and you get the same answer. Okay? Now, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I can take that same set of facts and turn it into a division problem. So here I've got 185 divided by 5 is 37. And likewise, 185 divided by 37 is 5. Notice how in both those cases, the 185, the big number, is off on the left side of the equation because that's what you're getting, that's what's getting divided up. Okay, so it's important to know that you can't switch where that 185 is. Just so you know, vocabulary, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, but we have a special name for the number that we're dividing up, and that is called the dividend. Okay, the number you're dividing by is the divisor. And then do you remember the name for the answer to a division problem? Starts with a Q. Quotient. A quotient is an answer to a division problem. All right, let's get into our textbook. So on page 209, there's 3 examples solving the same problem. Let's take a look at the problem. An airplane travels the same distance every day. It travels 3,822 miles in a week. How far does the airplane travel each day? So it's a division problem. Okay, you're taking those 3,822 miles and dividing it into 7. Here they've set the model up as a rectangle, which is one way you can look at it. So if you think of it like an area problem, you know that the length times the width gives you the area. Okay, it's kind of setting it up the same way. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do the division problem. The book shows you 3 ways. I'm not going to show you this middle one, the expanded form. I am going to show you the place value sections method, and I am going to show you this digit by digit method. I'm going to call it the traditional method because it's the way that most people have learned how to divide. And then once you're comfortable with both of those, you can decide which one works best for you. All right, let's take a look at the place value sections problem. And notice how you've got boxes that are building upon each other. It's very similar to the box method for multiplying. So if you liked this strategy for multiplying, you might like this one as well. Again, the choice is going to be yours. So I would like for you to get a piece of scratch paper and a pencil, and we're going to try a division problem together using the place value sections method. All right, so we're going to set the problem up like this to start with. That's kind of the way you're going to see a lot of your division problems. They also might do this. Okay, same thing, right? Ooh, another way you could write it is like this, because remember the bar in fractions means divide. So 3 ways you could write that same thing, but we're going to solve it like this. So copy this down on your problem, or on your paper, and at any point remember you can pause the video and get caught up with me. So this first method I'm going to show you is the place value sections method. You might call it just the box method. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of take the lines of this division problem and extend them down a little bit, and we're going to make it into a box. Don't put the bottom of the box in yet, because I'm not sure how much space we're going to need. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I need to figure out, does 5 go into 815? It is. It does. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to go evenly. I know that because it ends in a 5. If it ends in a 5 or a 0, I know 5 will go into it evenly. So I'm going to say to myself, can I get 5, a group of 5, out of this 815? Or can I get a group of 5 out of just the 8? And the answer is yes. Okay. It's not going to go exactly, but I know that I can get one group of 5 out of the 8. So I'm going to put my 1 up here, and then I'm going to put zeros behind this. Okay, so I'm dividing by the hundreds. Now I'm going to take 105s out of there, and I'm going to multiply 100 times 5. That would be 500. My next step is I'm going to subtract, because I'm taking those out of the 815. I subtract and I get 315. Now I'm going to make the bottom of my box. Okay, so could I have an answer of 100 with a remainder of 315? No, that doesn't make any sense at all. I know that I can make more groups of 5 out of that 315. So I'm going to continue my dividing. I'm going to make a new box over here. And I'll switch to a different color. It's going to be a little fatter marker, but I think you'll see it. Okay, I'm going to move that 315 over here. Now, I'm going to divide this 315 by 5. So I'm going to go digit by digit. Can I take 3 and divide it by 5? No, I wouldn't have enough. How about 31? Could I divide 31 by 5? I sure can. It's not going to go exactly, but I can get close. If I go through my 5s, using your multiplication chart, looking across the 5s, the biggest one I can get that doesn't go bigger than 31 is going to be 30. 5 times 6 is 30. So I'm going to record a 6 right above that 1. You do the same thing on your paper. And then I'm going to put a 0 above the 5. Now, same as before, I'm going to multiply this number times the 5. And again, sometimes people like to put a little times there. 60 times 5, well, 6 times 5 is 30, and then add my 0. Subtract, just like I did before, and I get 15. All right, so now I've got to say to myself, can I have a remainder of 15 if I'm dividing by 5? No, I can't, because I could still take some 5s out of that 15. My biggest remainder that I could have would be 4. So guess what? We're going to make another box over here. Bring that 15 up to the top of your box. And now, just like before, we're going to divide the 5 into the 15. How many times does 5 go into 15? 3. Okay, and it's important where you put these numbers. Put that 3 above the 15. Now, just like earlier, we're going to do 3 times 5. We get 15. We subtract. We get 0. Woohoo, no remainder. Now, so what's our answer? Looks kind of goofy on the top of the box, but if you put little pluses here, you've got an expanded form number. So add that up. Easy peasy, 163 is our answer. Bam, boom, done. All right, now either on that same piece of paper or another piece of paper, I want you to write this problem down. And now we're going to get to that sticky. So if you have a sticky, I want you to write these letters going up and down. D, M, S, C, B. And if you've learned how to divide before, maybe you'll know this. But this is going to be a mnemonic strategy, a strategy for remembering the steps of long division the traditional way. Okay, so each of these letters is going to stand for a word, and I want you to fill your Post-it in like this. For D, we're going to write divide. For the M, we're going to write multiply. S is going to be subtract. C is going to be, we could do one of two words. I like to do the word compare. A lot of other teachers use the word check. Whichever word you want to use is fine. And the last one's actually going to be two words, bring down. So go ahead and pause this, pause the video, and get that copy down on your sticky. Again, if you don't have a sticky, just write it someplace where you're going to remember where it is so you can look at it. All right, we're going to go back to our original problem. This is the same problem we did, the box method. Now we're going to do it the digit by digit method. So hopefully we'll get the same answer as we got before. All right, so first step I'm going to do is I'm going to do this divide step right here. And I'm going to go digit by digit, okay? Does 5 go into 8? It sure does. How many 5s can I take out of 8? Only 1. So I'm going to put that 1 right above the 8. Okay, so sometimes I put a little X there for where I'm going to start, and then I'm going to make sure that I have a digit above each of these other numbers. It's really helpful when you're dividing to keep everything nice and neat. All right, so now in my next step, multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. I'm going to write that 5 right underneath the 8, kind of like I did with the other method. Next step, subtract. Subtract the 5, I get 3. Now this next step is a step that a lot of times people forget. You want to compare or check to make sure that that 3 is less than the 5. This number right here should be less than your divisor. If it's not, you've done something wrong. Back up and figure out what you did wrong. Okay, so I compared and I checked. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring down. I like to draw arrows going down like that, so I know that I've brought it down. I'm going to continue my process going off the bottom of this problem. 5 into 31 goes 6 times. Multiply, so my next step, 6 times 5, 30. Next step, subtract, I get 1. Compare, 1 is less than 5, doing great. And now I'm going to bring down. So I'm going to draw this arrow all the way down here so that I know later on that I remember that I've brought that 5 down already. Same thing, going back to the top again. I'm going back up here. Divide. Does 5 go into 15? Yes. How many times? 3. I put my 3 above the 5. Multiply. Again, you could put a times over here. 3 times 5, 15. Subtract 0. So my answer is 163, remainder 0. I guess I didn't really check here to see if that was less than 5. And then you probably should look and see, is there another number to bring down? No. Okay. Drawing those arrows is not something that you have to do, but it's really a nice thing to do when you have a lot of numbers out over here. It's very easy if you're not keeping your lines nice and neat. It's very easy to skip a number in the middle when you're dividing. So I like to draw those arrows just so that I know when I'm all done, did I bring that 5 down or not? And I can see, yes, I have. Okay, now, if you wanted to check your work, you could do the opposite operation. You could do 163 times 5. And you get 815, the number that we started with. All right, so was that the same answer we got before with the box method? It is. So it doesn't really matter which method you choose. You just want to keep your lines nice and straight and check your work. All right, stay tuned for the next video so that you can try this out on some of the problems in our textbook.